Welcome to Drop the Puck. We're here at Planet Ice Widnes for the Laidler Conference semi-finals in this playoff weekend. I'm joined, of course, by, as ever, Ben Lee and co-host Dave Griff. Dave, nice to have you back on the couch.
Great to be back, and of course, what a big weekend this is. Lots of great hockey, and it's fantastic to be here at Widnes, who's hosting this game.
Well, let's get right down to it, guys. I mean, the most important thing here is the first game we got up this afternoon is Telford against Sutton Sting. Two teams know each other well, and come to mind, the last time these two played each other was back in March, and it was a heated affair then. 7-6 was the result, an overtime win for Telford. Could we expect pretty much the same sort of thing today?
You think, the first thing I'd have to say is, you know, you've got four really good teams in this playoff, but of any of them, I kind of fancy Telford. They've got the bit between their teeth at the moment with their Northern One counterparts currently winning the playoffs there. You've got to think, you know, Telford too, they're going to want to try and follow suit with that. They're going to want to try and take the silverware home as well. Yeah,
Telford do certainly like their silverware, as we know, but I think there's some good teams here that could have a big say in that.
Yeah, obviously we can't really speak for the whole Widnes game. I think that's going to be a game and a half. But, you know, Sutton have got a lot of experience on the ice. Looking through the stats, a lot of the Sutton lads have come up through the British academies, especially Sheffield. Sheffield Senators seem to be turning out a lot of really good talent. And I think, you know, we're going to see maybe it's a case of homegrown experience against just general all-round hockey experience. It's going to come into play.
But Dave, you can't take it away. Sutton have been renowned for being a very close-knit but small team, but they can produce it on the ice.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think the thing with Sting is they take away some of that youth advantage. Got a lot of guys who come up from their under-18s. They've been playing together a long time. They're a tight-knit team. Whereas with Telford, you've got guys who've come out of the Titans, you've got guys from the Blaze, and you've got guys like their player coach, Callum Bowley. Callum Bowley, young guy, 24, and he's the player coach for this team, and he's had a phenomenal season. 104 points for one man. That's outstanding. And he's going to be looking to lead the Telford Tigers into victory here this weekend.
Ben, is there anybody else that, off the top of your head, that you think that Telford will be using? I mean, one person, for example, in the last game between these two teams was Brandon Anderson. He got 2 vital goals and 1 assist, and of course, out of those 7 points they got on the night, they led the way pretty well. Brandon was the highest scorer on the night. Do you think it'll be pretty much the same here tonight?
To be fair, I think, you know, there's a lot of experience spread across the entire Tigers team. I mean, just looking at some of the stats there, you mentioned Anderson. Obviously, you can't not mention the Telford Tigers too without looking to that bastion of experience. He's been there for a while now. Carol Yates has been around the league for so long. He knows British ice really well. Again, you look at his stats there. He played 32 games and got 42 goals under his belt. So he's been with the Tigers a full stretch of the season. I think he's going to be a vital part in it tonight as well. But I think attentions do have to turn between the pipes, because at the be-all or end-all, they're your last guys on, you know, the lifelines and the clubs. I know starting netminder tonight for the Tigers will be Zach Brown. You know, Brown's got a really good advantage at the moment. I mean, his save percentage at the moment, 90.8. You know, the guy's faced, 698 shots and only 64 goals against him. You've got to give it to him. When you've got experience and a really good save percentage and strength starting at the back there between the pipes, that is only going to amplify going forward.
Do you not think, though, that Telford find themselves in an unusual position of being fourth in this conference and instead of being top where they normally expect themselves to be?
I imagine so. But the thing is with Telford is they've got a lot of guys on D who are prepared to score. So we're expecting a real shootout here. And Ben, you're talking about the netminders. Looking at Sutton Sting, we expect Warren Guilfoyle to be in net for them. Very similar stats, 90.2 save percentage. So this is a very evenly matched contest between the pipes here.
Well, it's going to be an interesting affair, I think. I certainly think it's going to be heated, because the last time between these two, it certainly got that way. Of course, we've got to find a winner at the end of today, so we could go into overtime. Do you think we've got another overtime game on here?
Well, I know we're certainly prepared for it. We love a bit of overtime. But I'm telling you now that neither team will want it to come to that. They'll want to go out, and I can pretty much imagine how it's going to script out, and that will be first period. Both guys, both teams are going to want to feel each other out, find out where, how comfortable are they on the, because it's foreign ice to both of them. They've played Widnes throughout the season, but this isn't their home ice. None of them have got the advantage. Widnes can play that wild card later on, but as it stands, you're going to want to feel each other out in the first period. I think we'll see a lot of rubber flying at the tendies first period, feel them out, try and find a weakness in the armour. Second period, if anything's going to go off, that's when it's going to be.
Well, it's going to be an interesting affair. Dave, I think you're going to get off now, aren't you, and join the commentary team?
Get up to my commentary position and I'll catch up with you guys later. Enjoy the game.
No worries, Dave.
So interestingly enough, Ben, it's a really packed house here today. I believe it's a sellout and a very intimidating arena.
Yeah, so obviously there's rinks up and down the country that most of the teams will have played in. We've experienced a couple, to name a few. We've been here, we've been to Blackburn, we've been to obviously D-side. But, there's a stigma that comes with some of the rinks. I mean, some are intimidating rinks to go and play at. You look at Solihull, for example. Everyone says you go up the Barons rink, it's scary up there. Blackburn as well, like a bit of an imposing rink. The Shark Tank for Solway, they like it as well. But I'm sorry, you haven't experienced an intimidation in rink until you played here at Planet Ice Widnes, and the Wild Ones are in full voice.
Well, it'll be an interesting second game in the semi-finals today, but I think it's time for us to go to this first one between Telford Tigers and Sutton Sting, and we're going to hand over to our commentary team of Dave Griffiths and George Perris.
Thanks, Gary. We are now set. National anthem's done. We had a minute's silence. And now we're set to start some hockey. In net for Telford Tigers, we've got Zach Brown. Played 20 games with Telford this season, save percentage of 90.83. And you see over in the Sutton net, Warren Guilfoyle, number 41. Save percentage of 90.27. Played 28 games this season for them. Pretty evenly matched, George.
Yep, two teams that were certainly close in the league this year. Neither team's played, obviously, for a few weeks. They'll have had a long time to prepare for this, and I'm hoping that both will be ready to start with a flying start.
Do you think in this kind of playoff scenario that these teams would rather go in straight from the end of the regular season and not have the layoff? How important is that break?
Oh, I think hockey players want to play, don't they? So it will have been an anxious time for them over the last few weeks, making sure they get everything in place. There's been a lot of sleepless nights possibly about this game. It means a lot to these players after a 36 game season to have to wait a few weeks, and yeah, I'm sure now is the moment they've been preparing for.
This is it. It's all come down to this. Beautiful April day outside. A great day to come inside, sit in the ice. As we are set to drop the puck here. Scott Morris lining up for the Sting. And Callum Bowley for Telford as Sutton take the face-off. It's knocked in, and that's going to be offside immediately. And already a few shared words there. Looks like Stanislav Lashek involved with that.
I think the linesman looking very eager there to get involved. He nearly tripped over one of the players.
And so we'll try again. Only a few seconds played in the game. That's taken some of the momentum away, perhaps. Face-off outside Telford zone. Knocked back. Brought forward by Hustwick. And now Sting dumped that in. Hustwick goes back for it. Lashik has it. Held up in the corner. Tries to play it along the boards. Tussle for it. Sting come away with the puck. Tried to turn it around and play it on net. It's loose out front. But the Tigers clear. A deke there from number 40, Ben Washburn. And a nice poke check there by the Sting. It's sent over the net and out of play.
Well, physical start there from Johnson, number 10 for Sutton. He ran clean over Brown in the Tigers' net. Few words exchanged from the defenseman as they went back up the ice. He then threw a hit in his own zone, so clearly looking to make an impression physically in the opening of this game.
Face off down in the Sting zone. That's going to be won by Sutton. Played around the boards. Right the way down into the Telford zone, we've got an icing call. So that's going to bring the play back. Another chance for the Tigers to take the puck from the face-off and have their first piece of offense on net. But the Sting take it. That was out to Matt Jeffcock, who dumped it in. Priest sends it off the boards, and it's down to Williamson in the Sutton end. He's under pressure, gives it back to the neutral zone. To Doxey. And now Williamson is being chased down there by number 39, that's Aston.
Too many men penalty here, looks like on Telford.
So too many men on the ice, it's going to be a 2-minute penalty there assessed.
Well, it's a really shocking error for Telford to make early on. They put themselves short-handed needlessly here.
Well, let's see how special teams do for these now. Of course, Telford, they've got a lot of high-scoring D, which could help them in a situation like this, get the puck clear down the ice.
Yeah, Sutton here starting with 4 forwards. Laschek here playing in the defenseman's position. It looks like they're going to look to get the puck to him.
Shot from Laschek. And now Sutton give the puck up. Washburn couldn't clear from the point. Shot. Goal was wide open there. Laschek just sent it over the top. And now Sutton tried to set up another play. Just bats that in. Morris, Pyatt. Couldn't make anything of it. Into the neutral zone and out clear to the Sutton end.
Well, 2 great chances for Laschek there. And the second one, I'm afraid, he had a gaping net and somehow managed to put it over the bar.
As Telford take control of the puck now. They're going to skate that in, take their time, eat some of the time off that clock. Nice attempt there on front. That was Callum Bowley, who we talked about in the intro. And the Sting have 55 seconds left in this power play opportunity. Johnson sends it cross ice. Laschek. And Brown just keeps that out again. Cross ice again to Laschek. Up into the roof. And that is going to tame the puck with 38 seconds left on this power play opportunity.
Well, Laschek here clearly providing a danger from the Sting on this power play.
Taking his opportunities from the point, trying to get a dump on net and possibly a rebound for one of his line mates. Telford, dump it. Laschek goes back for it. Sting, play it to centre ice. Brought in by Pyatt. Laschek has it in the corner, sends it to Colton, who just loses it, and it's down with his netminder. That's Guilfoyle going to pick that up for him. 5 seconds remain in the power play. Sutton, one last attempt as Telford return to full strength. And now Priest.
Well, Yates cut off the play. Laschek for the Sting took it round the net. He had a clear pass to the back door, but Yates, killing penalties there for the Tigers, cut out the pass.
Easy save there for Brown, and the Tigers just letting the Sting players know that they won't let them in that crease.
Well, Tigers have killed the too many men penalty, so I think they'll be feeling confident. But have we got another man going to the box here?
Looks to be the case. That's one of the Tigers there. That's Evans, number 13. And Sutton as well, number 38. That's Oliver Mitchell.
I think we're going to be 4-on-4 here. These are coincidental roughing minors. And Evans and Mitchell both take 2 minutes.
And a great chance in the opening 4 minutes here to see some open ice with a 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. Butterworth lines up with Bowley. Referee's just checking with the announcing position there.
4-on-4 here could open up some of the ice, create a bit of room. Telford need to launch their first meaningful attack.
And this is a short rink as it is, isn't it, George?
Narrow particularly, which makes it difficult, and here, there you go. The pass was just behind him.
So how much difference does 4-on-4 make in a rink as narrow as this?
Well, more space for the players to pass the puck through the neutral zone, more space to skate. So hopefully a little bit more open and attacking. It's very easy on a narrow rink like this to shut the play down, drive it wide.
As Williamson and his line mate there. They choose to play that in over the line. But Tigers keep that out. Line change for Telford. As Morris dumped it on net. Price. And now Aston. Aston takes a shot. Morris couldn't reach that. Back to the line and chipped in. As Sutton played off the boards, and Laschek with the puck tried to take it through the legs, couldn't quite do that. Pyatt behind his own net. Plays it up to Johnson, and Price takes the puck for Telford. 20 seconds remain in the power play, in the 4-on-4 rather. Dumped onto the Sutton net, and the netminder Guilfoyle decides he's going to keep hold of that. Saw one of the Tigers skating towards him.
Well, Guilfoyle yet to be forced into a save in the Sting net. But Telford, I think, will be happy the way that they've killed a penalty, and now they're starting to come to life on this 4-on-4.
They've got 3 seconds before this returns to a 5-on-5. Penalties expire, and Mitchell and Evans return to the ice. That's best attempt so far there. That's Bowley again.
Just took a deflection, I think, off the defenseman's leg.
As the puck is sent to the neutral zone, Price dumps it in again. And neither team choosing to play the puck in much in the early going here.
Yeah, as we were saying, the narrow ice makes it a little bit hard to carry the puck into the zone in control. Obviously, a defending team can make sure that they protect that blue line fiercely. And teams frequently happy to make a territorial advantage by dumping the puck in.
Griffin forces the biggest save so far of the night for Guilfoyle.
There's Guilfoyle's first big save, yes.
And caught him a little unawares, perhaps, that. So we have a quick line change. 7 minutes gone in the game so far. And Telford win the face-off. Again, they take it to the net. You had Gallagher there, staring down the puck. But he couldn't make much of it. Nice Huswick. Has it in the corner, he's looking to play that out. Gives it to Thompson. And that's ahead to Gallagher. Collision there, brings down a few players. Jeff Cock. Puck loose behind the net. Given to Pyatt. Sends it off the boards into Doxley. Smith for Telford. Puck almost on the stick of Lashik there. They've got to be careful with takeaways like that. And into the glove of Zach Brown.
Evenly balanced opening, I'd say. Both teams have had chances at this point.
Shots on goal certainly favouring Sutton Sting at the moment, and most of those from Laschek. He's had a great opening 10 minutes.
They certainly look dangerous on the power play, but at 5-on-5, things look a little more balanced.
False start there. We're going to have another face-off. Telford win that one. They send it round the net. Bowley tried to get it to Yates. And now Laschek takes a shot into the plexi behind the netminder. Yates sends it off the boards. Loose and down to Goodman in his own zone. Plays it out.
Yeah, Laschek tried to go high blocker side there on Brown, and I think Brown got a piece of it. He's certainly had all of Sutton's best chances in the opening half of this period.
Guilfoyle with the blocker on that. Morris takes a shot from the blue line. Easy stop as Yates gives it up to Sutton. Morris to Apsley. Apsley brings it in. Aston turned it round, and now Griffin the other way takes a shot. And a nice attempt there for Griffin, trying to get that onto the back of the netminder's skate and try to deflect that into the net.
Oh, it's a giveaway.
Picked off by the Sting, but cleared to centre ice. Puck held up on the boards. Sting come away with that. Martin is going to skate it in. Looks to take it down the middle, took the shot. A nice save. And now Williamson chases that puck down, but we've got ourselves an icing call. It's going to bring it down to the Telford zone with nearly half of the first period gone. Fast game so far.
Yeah, both teams starting to finish the checks now.
We saw some feeling out process early on as Sutton tried to play that out of the corner. Off the boards, tried to get that to Martin. Stopped at the point, Williamson turns it round. Telford picked that puck off though and send it to the neutral zone. Williamson dumps that in. Chased down by Priest. Williamson couldn't reach it. And Smith and Williamson in a foot race. Behind the net is Goodman. Off the boards, puck loose. Cleared. Down to Price. Sends it cross ice to Huswick. And now Sting. Doxley tried to take the shot, went off the leg. of number 18, Josh Hustwick. And pint glass was in danger of being spilled there. That was the most
choice to get the pint glass off the rail there.
As the Tigers look to play this out now. Thompson held up, and that's going to be a penalty.
Well, it looks like it's Sutton's turn to be short-handed now. They're just starting to show a little bit more control, and this will break up their momentum, no doubt.
Referee's going to call that a trip. 2 minutes. And so we'll see how the Tigers do now. Face off in the Sutton end. Bowley directing traffic there from the back. Sutton win the face off. Couldn't clear it from the point. A shot. Goodman shoots it from the blue line, sends it right the way back round, and Sutton again managed to keep puck possession there. Just lose it, and Yates is open. Yates, cross ice. Goodman just picks that away.
Yeah, nice pass from Yates, but he's looking for the return pass.
Guilfoyle was forced to go post to post there, but there was nobody there for that third pass. Another shot goes right into the gloves. And Guilfoyle's going to hang on to that with 1:13 remaining in that power play.
Well, Johnson took a hard shot as the penalty killers broke out, and it was so hard that the puck bounced back almost to centre ice, which put Sutton immediately back under pressure. And that led to the chance for Telford.
They hold that in, looking to set something up. Puck's behind the net.
Shot there from Aston with a tight angle.
And now Hamilton tried to get it to Yates, couldn't reach him, and Sting just chipped that away. And again, some nice poke check in there from Sting. Doxley playing a little keep away. Contains the Telford Tigers in their zone with 20 seconds remaining in their power play. One last attempt here. They deke. And they're just held offside.
Well, Griffin's not happy about that, but
I think he felt that the shot came after the whistle, but when you're playing a playoff game, tempo's high, it's hard to hold back. So that face-off is going to be brought to just outside the blue line for Sutton. Few seconds remain in the power play for Telford. Price gets it to centre. Griffin takes a shot off the blocker. Penalty expires. Sutton return to full strength. Shot from the point. Puck loose out front. And turned around by the Sting. Skates it in. Yes. Shot. It's a goal! Scott Morris opens the scoring for the Sutton Sting and put them on the board.
Well, a solo effort really. Straight up the middle, went onto his backhand, cut inside, and the finish looked like it beat Brown down low, possibly through the legs. Crushing blow for Telford after they'd controlled the power play, but just didn't switch back on when it came to the 5-on-5 play.
Great goal for the captain, Scott Morris. Adds to his 71-point total for the regular season as the puck dumped there on net and Brown covers up. And we mentioned earlier how what we were seeing early in this first period was a lot of dump and chase. The first time that we see somebody play the puck in, straight down the middle, and good things happen.
Yeah, Telford won't be pleased that they let him walk up the middle that way.
Morris in that face-off zone there with Bowley. He's thrown out though, Laschik comes in. Sutton win that face-off. Again, puck loose. Brown just struggled to keep hold of that in his glove. And his defense just jumped on that.
I think Brown thought he had it for a second. It took him just a fraction of a second to realise that the puck was loose there. Another hint of danger for Telford.
Sting, hold that in, but no, Telford send that down, force an icing call, and it's going to be brought back to the Telford zone. And Telford looking under pressure now. From a well-controlled power play opportunity, they're now being held in their zone.
Yeah, I think they'll obviously look to push back as quick as they can. I think they've got their top line out now.
Morris wins that for the Sting. Another shot.
Took a deflection but went wide.
Tigers clear, and it's a race for the puck.
Oh,
there.
big risk.
Huge risk.
Contact between Bowley and the netminder there, and that's going to draw some attention.
Oh, here we go. Sting not pleased with Bowley. Bowley, the player coach for Telford. Well, that was a risk from Guilfoyle. Left the net open.
Well, both goalies have been bumped in this first period. I have to say, Guilfoyle was playing the puck. I think the contact was incidental, but I like the Sutton reaction. I like the fact that they've shown a bit of pushback on that. They send a signal there that they're not going to let their most prized players like Guilfoyle be touched, and I think the referees are going to do the decent thing and level it up.
We see
Bowley is going to the box as well, is he?
That's right. Morris is in the box, our goal scorer. Bowley has gone in for Telford. And the referee's going to have a word here with the...
Possibly hard done by here, Bowley. He was obviously chasing down that puck. Guilfoyle was handling it. Guilfoyle was in a vulnerable position. Bowley had every right to skate at him. Hard to see from here how far he went to avoid the contact, but in the name of diplomacy, I think the referees have evened up the penalties here.
And Bowley chased that puck with some speed. It would have been pretty hard to pull back at that point when the netminder comes out to meet him. Gutsy move from the netminder, Guilfoyle. So we'll see how this pans out. We've got 6 minutes, 11 seconds left in the first period.
Both players, of course, amongst the leading scorers for their clubs. So the 4-on-4 will be missing the presence of 2 goal scorers.
Of course, Bowley is the 3rd highest point scorer in the league this season. 104 points, 48 goals, 56 assists.
Yeah.
Morris not far behind, still in that top 10 there. 71 points.
Some discussion now. Not sure. We haven't actually had the penalties confirmed. I would imagine it would be 2 for roughing from Morris and 2 for interference for Bowley.
Let's send up to Gary and Ben. Guys, what did you see from the studio?
Well, it was hard to say. It's a little down the other end of the ice for us, but what did you see, Ben?
Well, certainly Sutton there doing the rightful thing. You know, you run the tender, you expect to get an answer. Telford, you know, maybe it was a little harsh on Bowley. Maybe, you know, he was just skating in, but, you know, the Guilfoyle's puck handling there, he's been run up against. But, you know, it was don't get me wrong, it was a risky move for him to come out of the crease that far as he did. But, you know, you've been served the penalty, do your time.
Thing is, I said it from the start, I knew this was going to get heated. Back to the commentary team.
Well, it looks like it's going to be 5-on-5 at the restart.
So we're set now to go 5-on-5. There doesn't seem to be any time assessed on the board, so are we looking at major penalties? Are we starting to get some rough stuff there? Williamson with a hard hit there along the boards. Two-minute penalty for interference assessed to Bowley. Shot there on net, gloved by Guilfoyle. And there's a change in the level of intensity, I feel now, George.
Well, there's been a long break in play, so let's hope that both teams can pick the pace back up to where it was when we left off.
We've just had it confirmed. Morris is assessed with a 2+10 for a check to the head. That was during the attempt to protect his netminder there. How does that affect Sutton Sting? That's their only goal scorer so far this game. He's going to be sat out now for 12 minutes.
Yeah, as I said, you know, it is good to see a reaction when there's contact with the goalie. You want your guys to push back. You want them to show a reaction, but 2+10 is a price to pay. Obviously, Morris is player on their top line. Got another call here. How's the referee reading this one? Looks like Sutton are going to be short.
Looks like Ollie Mitchell's going to the bench, to the box. And the referee's letting them know in this first period that they're not going to sit back and let this get too rough. Whichever team wins this, they go on tomorrow night to take on the winner of the Widnes Wild and Hull in the playoff final. And we'd like to do that with a full contingent. Sting send it around the boards. They are going to be sat an extra 2-minute penalty. That's a roughing penalty assessed to Mitchell. As the Tigers take a shot. Puck's loose.
Second power play for Telford here. They created chances on the first. I think we have a whistle. That shot may have hit Guilfoyle in the helmet. That appears to be...
Nice puck awareness there from Saunders, who managed to clear that.
No, we've got another penalty here. Another penalty for Sutton. We're going to have a 5-on-3.
James Goodman gone to the box.
I didn't see the call. I don't know whether it was behind the puck, but we are going to be 5-on-3 here, are we? Yes. Well, great opportunity for Telford to level things up now.
This could make things very interesting going into the intermission.
No, it is 5-on-4. So I'm not sure why Goodman's been sent to the box.
Goodman takes a 10-minute misconduct.
Yeah.
That's 2 men serving 10-minute penalties now for Sutton. This is not good.
No, it must have been something verbal to the referee, I'm guessing, off the puck. Wasn't happy with the whistle, voiced his concerns.
Shot there. Dan Thomason and Aston skated that down.
Great opportunity there. Cross-ice pass, Guilfoyle came across, met the shot, but dangerous opportunity.
So 3 minutes 41 seconds left in the first. We're still 5 on 4, but with 2 men serving. Major 10-minute misconducts.
Oh.
That's Goodman and Morris, who've been a big part of the Sting's first period here.
Bowley's back out just in time to help direct play on this power play. Made a nice little short pass there that created a chance.
Aston did a good job of playing that in. Bowley takes it from the point, plays it into the corner, gets it to the line. Yates was looking to take a hard angle shot there. Played back to the neutral zone, and Bowley back to Yates. Yates held up there by Dominic Martin, prevented him from getting that shot away. As Mitchell returns to the ice for Sutton Sting, we're 5 on 5. But with Goodman and Morris sitting out a chunk for the Sting for another 5 or 6 minutes, at least until the start of the second period. The Sting are in damage limitation. Sutton couldn't get a play. Bowley, potential 3-on-2. Couldn't get that shot. Last check.
Well, 3-on-1 now here.
3-on-1 the other way.
Great pass. Well, last check found the trailing man. Good save by Brown. And right back at it, Telford now.
3-on-2 back the other way. End-to-end stuff. Tigers tried to go for the wraparound, but they had Glaspie in the way. Goodman directing traffic from the box there. Shot! Yes! It's a goal for Telford!
Thomason.
Well, it was a blocked shot and the puck dropped down into the slot area, and turning, Thomason fired, and I don't know if Guilfoyle was unsighted. I don't think there was a great amount of power on the shot. But it's leveled the scores here at 1-1.
Just under a minute and a half left in the first period, and Telford are back in this game. Thomason, who comes to the Tigers from Coventry Blaze, only 7 points this season out of 26 games played. And he's valuable to the Tigers here in the opening period of this playoff semi-final. The Sting get that out front, shot off the leg of Huswick. Aston brings it round the back. He's brought down, tangled up with Williamson. And another man there goes into the netminder. Colton brings Brown down.
Contact with the keeper again. Always a potential flashpoint in an ice hockey game. Didn't quite see what happened there, to be honest. But Brown is down and doesn't look in a hurry to get up. Yeah.
Things were messy in that last few seconds. There was a tussle on the boards that brought down 2 players, and I think in the scramble for that, Brown brought down.
Well, it has to be said, Sutton have lost a bit of the edge that they had in the first half of this period. It doesn't help, of course, having
2 in the box with the misconduct penalties that will run into next period.
Especially guys like Goodman, who's been pivotal on defence for them, former Premier League player. And of course, Morris, one of the goal scorers tonight, 71 points, noticeably absent in these closing minutes of the first period. As the Tigers send her off the board, Pyatt has it, tries to get it to the middle. Off the plexiglass, and an icing call.
Well, Telford could have done without that icing call, bringing play right back into their zone.
We've got 24 seconds remaining in this first period.
This is an important face-off here for Telford, for them to close out this period under pressure.
Shot, puck was loose out front, and the netminder manages to hold that one out.
Oh, again, Sutton aggressive towards the net. Good opportunity on the rebound, but Brown strong. He looks well sealed and compact down low. He looks like a tough goalie to beat.
Sutton have got 20 more seconds to try and gain back that edge. Found on that shot there. Aston with a burst of speed. He's loose. Shot! Oh, what a fantastic save from Guilfoyle. Aston with highlight reel.
Wow.
Shot there.
Exciting end to the period as Aston showed his pace. It's not the first time that he's shown a burst of pace that potentially opened up Sutton at the back, but a good save by Guilfoyle. It's been an evenly matched period, and we go back up to Gary and Ben in the studio with the score: Sutton 1, Telford 1.
Yeah, thanks for that, George. An interesting first period there, Ben. It looked like Sutton were the stronger of the two. Telford have come back into this. It's even Stevens at the moment.
It is, but looking at it, I mean, right now, Sutton are on the major back foot with 2 of their guys sitting 10-minute penalties. You know, Captain Morris is one of those guys. Yeah, he's a goal scorer, but he's going to be fuming with himself over picking up that misconduct penalty. It's just silly mistakes like that that are going to take key players off the ice for Sutton right now. You know, this is your golden ticket opportunity to the final. You're going to need every man putting in his shift, and right now...
Well, the thing is, the last time these two teams met in earlier in March, it was a heated affair, like we said in the intro, but 18 minutes of penalties to Sutton and 12 minutes to the Tigers. I think it's pretty much going that way at the moment. Either team trying to stamp their dominance on the game, but coming towards the end there, you almost thought that Telford were going to take it.
Yeah, what an awesome breakaway that was right at the end then. And Warren Guilfoyle standing up, making that key save there, keeping Sutton in it in these, you know, the dying few seconds of that first. But if I'm completely honest, it's so far how I've called it. Told you each team would feel each other out. Okay, early goal pinched, fair enough. But we're starting to see sparks already bubbling. A lot of running on the tendies, you know, trying to jam up in front of that goal, crashing the net. And neither team's going to stand for that. I'm going to make a little bit of prediction, Gary. I think we might see the sparks ignite late in the second.
Well, it's early days yet. We've still got 2 more periods of this fantastic weekend of ice hockey here at Planet Ice Widnes in this Laidler North playoffs. Join us right after this brief advert from our friends at Elite Hockey UK.
Well, as you saw there, Elite Hockey UK, great company. You know, hit them up on Facebook, hit them up on Twitter. The only UK full equipment hockey supplier. Make sure, you know, you can get everything from custom gloves, brand new sticks out there. I mean, there's some state-of-the-art twigs there. But we have to thank, big shout out to Ben Jones there. Thanks for sorting us out with that, mate.
And interestingly enough, Ben, we're going to give out some great prizes. We'll do a bit of a competition here over this playoff weekend, which you'll be able to catch on each of the episodes from each of the games that we do here on Drop the Puck. So keep an eye out for that advert for your chance to win some great Elite Hockey prizes. So anyway, we're back to the ice. I think it's going to be telling this second period, like you said at the intro. I think it's going to be telling which team wants to take it more. But we know that Sutton can grind these results out. They're a good, tight-knit team, like we said earlier. It'd be interesting to see whether they can get under the skin of Telford and keep them out of that penalty box.
To be honest, Gary, it's been a few times they've been banging on the door. We've seen Brown work early in this first period. Laschek left it wide open plenty of times to get that puck off. So, you know, Telford are going to certainly want to close down on that. But right now, it's quite clear Sutton are concentrating on Callum Bowley. If they can take him out the game, you're taking probably the trump card from the Tigers' hand. Plenty of experience around there, but Bowley seems to be the one doing most of the work.
I think Carol Jets is a key player for them today, but, you know, he's been a little bit quiet in my opinion. But we'll have to see. And so without further ado, I think we go back to our commentary team of George Pettit and Dave Griffiths for this second period.
Thanks, Gary. We return to the ice for the start of the second period. An eventful first, George.
Yeah, finely balanced. Certainly Sutton had the best of it to start, but Telford came into the first period during the second half of it. Managed to level the scores, and of course we've still got two of Sutton's best players still serving misconducts.
Sutton take the first shot there of the period. Backhander there on Brown. To the point, held in by Sutton. And of course, as you say, two players, Goodman and Morris, sat out at the start of this period, and they were key to the early success of Sutton in this period. Morris contributing the goal, and Goodman, former EPL player, very important on D. Since they've both been in the box, Telford have evened up the score.
Sutton not pleased with the icing call there. They felt that they had a man advanced enough to have the icing waved off, but play does return to the Telford zone.
So we have a face-off. Both teams lined up. Williamson for Sutton. They tried to get that out front to number 5, that's Doxey. Shot from the point from Howes. And Brown again, solid in net, has to cover up.
Yeah, broke loose to Jeff Cock on the left wing, and he stepped inside, took a shot, but it was right into the crest of Brown, and he has no problems gobbling up that with no rebound.
Sutton win that face-off. Jeff Cock. Williamson had it. Telford. And now, down the other end, it's Anderton. Howes gets it to the neutral zone, to Jeff Cock. Back to Howes. And Sutton just taming the puck in their zone. Under pressure from Anderton, though. Ooh. Sensible save there from Guilfoyle. Saw the puck loose out front and dived on that. And if you're player coach for the Sutton Sting, George, at this point, with two men serving major misconduct penalties, what do you say during that intermission?
Well, it's hard to know what they'll actually be saying to their guys, but discipline's got to be an issue, hasn't it, here? Really, to have two of the best players out for 10-minute stretch, you know, it could cost them, couldn't it? So yeah, discipline. And I think they'll be confident that once Morris returns to the ice.
Martin skated that in, tried to just sneak the puck past the netminder there with the help of Butterworth. Yates is on the ice now. Just puck picks that away. Telford tried to clear. Trickles through, but no. Sutton turn it round, dumps it into the corner. You've got Colton calling for that puck. Chooses to go for it himself, tries to get it to Martin.
Sutton looking controlled here.
Shot from the point from David Pyatt.
Yeah, Sutton just showing some strength there to keep the puck in the Telford zone. Good puck protection, getting it down low. And of course, there's a bit of space up there for the defenseman to take a good low shot from the point. Control in the zone is, of course, the way that teams dominate, and the way that to score. Get 5 men in the zone, get working the puck around, create opportunities and traffic.
Oliver Mitchell for Sutton Sting. Takes it to the corner, and now Howes takes the shot. That's off the skate of Yates. Back to the corner. 4th minute of the 2nd period. Williamson, shot, deflected high into the corner and played back out. Tigers lost possession of that shot. Mitchell just held on to that second too long there. And the puck back in the Sutton end. Aston with a burst of speed. Yates has it. It's a goal.
Lovely finish.
Carl Yates skates down on net. Just puts himself in the right place.
Well, Ashton made it by driving wide with the puck, and then the interchange between Bowley and Jets. Fantastic. Left Guilfoyle stranded. An easy finish really for Yates, but great interplay there from Telford. And they've come against the momentum here. That came after a sustained spell of pressure from Sutton.
Again, drive into that net. And good things happen for the Tigers. They take their first lead of the game. And Morris, who opened up the score in this game for the Sutton Sting, still watching from that penalty box. His penalty not long from expiring now. Tigers, they get that to Griffin. Glaspie chips that in on net. Brown gloves that. Well, that was sent high. We're going to have a stoppage in play.
Well, we hadn't seen a lot of Yates up to this point, but I mean, he shows why he's got the stats that he's got. 43 goals this year in the league. Decisive finish. No mistakes.
Carol Yates, second in points scored this season in this league, behind Richard Hagger, who we'll see for the Hull Jets against Widnes Wild in the second of our semi-finals. All the action here on Drop the Puck. And don't forget, you can keep up to date with all NIHL action if you follow BASN Radio on Twitter and on Facebook and our YouTube channel. All episodes from every season of Drop the Puck there for you to see, as the Tigers now have that in the Sutton zone. Williamson cover that puck up a little, but Tigers managed to get that free. Doxey sends it off the boards and out to the neutral zone. And the Tigers regain possession. Thomason, who opened up the scoring for the Telford Tigers today. Butterworth brings it in, skates that down the left wing for the Sutton Sting. Tried to take a shot there, did Jeff Cock. And now Glaspie as Sting in the midst of a line change. Colton. Shot there from Butterworth. The Tigers on the offense. Yates skating that down with Pyatt. Yates, the last goal scorer for the Tigers. Bowley, player coach, sends it into the corner to Yates. And that's got to be the top line that on for the Tigers. Putting on the pressure. Pyatt sends it to Colton. Deeks shoots. Met with the pads of the netminder, and Zach Brown just stays low, stays solid in net.
Yeah, he's made a couple of composed saves this period already.
Anderton held up on the blue line. Puck on the stick of Colton, who sends that high and down on net, looking for a...
Sutton looking for a whistle here so they can get their guys, Morris and Goodman, back on the ice, and here they come.
So we are finally back to full strength for Sutton Sting. With 7 minutes gone in the second period, we are almost halfway through this game. And you've got to think Sutton Sting are ready to change up their game plan.
Well, I did say you like to see a reaction when someone hits your goalie, but for Morris and Goodman, they went into the box with their team in the lead, and they've come out of the box with their team trailing by a goal. So there's a lot to be said for Telford's disciplined approach.
Sutton setting up a play. Johnson to Laschek.
Well, that was Morris with the pass across there, creating danger instantly as he comes out of the box.
Goodman fans on that. Back to Morris. Deeks. And now Telford. Griffin brings it down the middle, takes a shot. Goalie just swipes that away. Tigers turn the puck around. Dump it in. Goodman forced back for it. He's under pressure. Gives the puck up to Howes. Johnson gives it to Laschek. Couldn't get a shot. He was held up by Matthew Price.
Just escaped his stick blade there. He had a good opportunity. There's a lot of net showing on the short side for Laschek there.
Tigers. Thomason sent into the boards by Pyatt. Into the Tigers zone. They almost lose the puck. Nice. Absolutely stationed right in front of the net there, but couldn't get a shot. Butterworth takes the shot, and Brown falls down on that. He's going to cover that up.
It was Curzon and Apsley there, had a good look, and Curzon, it looked like he turning threw the puck hard towards the net, which is never a bad thing to do, but Aspley was in space. Perhaps a slightly more measured pass, a little bit more hesitation could have yielded a real chance for a goal there.
The referee and the timekeepers just exchanging a few words there. Looks like the scoreboard needed adjusting. 7 minutes played in the second period. Glaspie takes the shot from the point. Telford. Aston's loose.
Aston with a speed once again.
Tried to get that onto the stick of Bowley.
Yeah, he looks like he's got a step on these D-men here. Aston for the Tigers. It's 3 or 4 times now in this game where his speed has caused problems, and of course his speed was what generated the goal for Yates. That gave Telford the lead in this game.
Tigers send it down the ice. Icing's waved off. Yates makes sure he's onside and plays it in. Skates it down. And you had Yates and Bowley heading towards the net.
Well, he looked across, but I don't think he had a clear passing lane there, so quickly got his head up and tried to go short side on Guilfoyle. But it's that's a tough task to beat a goalie short side. Guilfoyle tight to his post, showing nothing.
Tigers from the face-off send it into the Sting zone along the boards. Goodman has it. Goodman looking to make a play, sends it off the boards to Colton, to Martin. Martin and Butterworth, drops it back to Colton, looking for an opening. Some nice moves there. Yeah,
great stick in the lane by Evans. He disrupted a nice play there from Sutton. Interplay between Colton and Martin was looking very dangerous, and if that had ended up on Martin's stick, we'd have an even game.
Goodman behind his net, plays it off the boards. And the Sting looking to make a play. They give it to Colton. Colton skates it in. Loose out front. Held in at the point. Turned around to Butterworth. Shot from Lashek.
Scores.
And he scores! Great goal for the Sutton Sting. He's going to even things up.
Well, it popped loose the last check. Looked like a broken down play. Could have taken a deflection off one of the Tigers defensemen. But last check only had it on his stick blade for a fraction of a second there. To level the score. Sutton 2, Telford 2.
And it's that veteran experience of the import Stanislav Laschek to know he's got a split second to react and to take the shot.
Yeah, he's been a bit quiet since the first period. Possibly missing his line mate, centre man Morris. But certainly with his experience, his goal scoring record, you'd expect him to get an opportunity and to finish it.
Aston couldn't get that speed away there as he was held up by Pyatt, who turns it round. And Sting caught offside there. Johnson trying to skate away with it. Got a little carried away by the looks of things.
Yeah, it was just a slight delay on the play was just delayed by a second. I think Laschek let his skate go over the blue.
Sutton win the face-off. Pyatt. Not sure who he was giving the puck to there. Morris in his corner. But now the Tigers take possession. They're going to take a shot. Priest sent it behind the net. Looking for a wraparound there is Yates. Sting.
Laschek's inside. Oh. Good save, Brown. That was a low shot, dangerous shot.
Johnson puts the puck on net. Laschek tries to tame it. Yates claims the puck. Tries to bring the pace down a little behind his net as he plays it out, but Sutton picked that puck back up. And now Apsley gives the puck to his line mate Williamson, who's going to dump that in. Mitchell chasing behind the net. Turned around and held in by the Sting. Tigers looking to clear. Williamson. Saunders has her on the board. Anderton just beats him out, sends it down to the Sting end. And now Goodman controls the puck behind his net, sends it off the boards. Mitchell. Williamson just takes the puck away from Callum Griffin. And we've got a penalty coming up to Anderton. A tripping call.
I think he may have extended his knee there with a hit on Goodman. There wasn't much reaction from either bench. Slightly marginal call perhaps, but Sutton will definitely be looking to regain the lead here. They've played a controlled game for most of this period. Got the best players back in Morris and Goodman. They'll definitely be looking to convert this into a 3-2 advantage.
Well, we are past the halfway point of this game now, as Brown just stops that puck momentarily. 5-on-4 advantage for Sutton Sting for the next minute and 57 seconds. And as you say, they're going to be looking to make this count, take back that lead. Colton puts it on the stick of the Tigers, and the Tigers have got a chance to eat away at this. Aston skated it in and still manages to get round quick enough to challenge for the puck. Laschek takes a shot, is brought down. Puck cleared down the ice. Goodman picks it up, decides to play it in himself.
Yeah, good penalty killing here from the Tigers. Shut down Sutton on a couple of opportunities.
They're a minute into their penalty kill. And Brown again just covers up.
Well, Telford protecting the centre of the ice very well there. Didn't leave Laschek a lot of options, but to take the early shot, it's an easy one for Brown to track and to swallow up.
8 minutes remain in the second period. So it's all even so far. Sutton with a lot of possession in this second period, but Zach Brown just remains a constant in their net. And again, just a picture of calm.
Yeah, it's the right sort of play for Sutton. Just a little flick on net, getting the traffic towards Brown. He certainly looks like he'll stop what he can see, so the more they can get bodies to the net, the greater their chances of getting a shot through.
Sting from the face-off. Puck's held up. Tigers clear again. Johnson goes back for it this time. .30 seconds remain in Sutton's power play. Nearly took out the linesman there.
Well, 30 seconds left to kill on this penalty for Telford. They've done well so far.
Face-off won by the Sting. Martin looks to play it in. Tussles with Priest. And we have a player brought down, and that's going to be a delayed penalty called to Telford.
Yeah, looks like that was a trip there. And 6 seconds we're going to get here, a 5-on-3.
And with the face-off in Telford zone, it's a good chance here for the Sting. They've put Morris on the face-off. Colton lingering at the back there. Out to Goodman at the point. Shot! Colton! Did he get it in?
Well,
Sutton players seem to think so.
the penalty to Anderton had just ended. Morris had the puck down low on the goal line. The pass was through the crease to Colton. Brown hadn't got across fully, but Colton actually put it back towards Brown, enabling him to make the save. Colton will be kicking himself because there was a lot of open net there on the short side that he could have found.
Good attempt there on the 5-on-3, of course. The Tigers now back to 4 skaters, so we have 5-on-4 for the next minute and 50. Morris gives it to Goodman, back to Morris. Goodman takes the shot. More traffic in front of net. Last check was brought down in front of Brown.
We've got another penalty here on Telford. And Sutton want to get a touch up on the puck here so they can maximise their time at 5-on-3. And that looks like an interference call. There's some contact again between Laschek and the Telford goalie, Brown. I don't know whether it was a response to that or possibly whether he was pushed into him by 91, who's Hamilton. Telford are really playing with fire here.
And of course, we've still got Aston sat out for 1 minute and 30. That takes away a lot of the speed from Telford.
Yeah, this is going to be a real test for their penalty killers here. It'll be Bowley, I think, with the 2 defensemen. And he's going to be tired by the end of this because he's going to be very difficult to get a change. And he's probably going to be on the ice for the full 2 minutes.
Goodman takes a shot. Telford managed to clear. Down to Guilfoyle. Sends it back out to neutral ice. Price has it. At neutral ice, it's given up to the Sting, who come back onside. Drop back to the point, cross ice. Shot from Colton,
yes.
And it's a goal! Sutton Sting have taken back their lead with a 5-on-3.
Well, short side finish there from Colton. He had so much time to look up, under no pressure whatsoever on 5-on-3 there, and no mistake. Now, of course, Telford remain short-handed. Have to see out a further minute and 16 seconds of the penalty to Hamilton.
So Colton with that goal. 77 points he's at this season. And a massive contribution there to bring his team back to the lead. A lead that they've not had since the start of the first period. With just over 5 minutes left in this second period, Telford dumped that down the ice. Of course, if there's one thing they can say, it's that they've got Joseph Aston back on the ice. Whose penalty expired with the goal. Martin brings that in. Sends it around the back of the net. Williamson plays it back to him. And Johnson sends it on net. The netminder juggles it a bit, and Martin goes into the netminder.
Once again, it looks like, well, contact once more between Sting and the Telford goalie, but looked like Martin was pushed in there by the defenseman. Well, Sutton back in the lead then for the first time since the first period, and I have to say it has been deserved. They've had the most the run of the play, but Telford will be frustrated by the lack of discipline and the penalties that have cost them dearly in this second period.
That's right. Netminder.
Yeah, good bit of gamesmanship there from Brown. Needs to go and fill his bottle up at the bench, give his penalty killers some really important time to rest.
Yeah. Seconds left in this penalty kill. Puck sent high. And we've now got a offside call just as the penalty expires. Telford are back to full strength.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. Well, we've not played an awful lot of this second period with both teams at full strength. But here we are. Last check and Johnson sent that in. Hamilton was chasing. Last check takes the puck. It's brought down behind the net by Bowley.
Well,
and now Telford have the puck in Sutton's zone. Puck was loose up front and it just knocked away by Glaspie. Puck sent out, chased down for it, but Yates has it, gives it to Hamilton. Shot on net there for number 18, Joshua Hustwick. And the puck goes out of play.
Yeah, difficult for Telford to regain their momentum after that extended spell of playing short-handed. It disrupts the rhythm of your play. You're trying to get three lines out, you're trying to get a good rotation. When you're short-handed there for an extended period, 4 or 5 minutes, you've got a handful of penalty killers who are exhausted, and you've got the rest of your guys who play at even strength. You've got them cold and out of the game. So it'll be interesting to see how Telford can get their momentum, get back in the rhythm of this game with just over 3.5 minutes left.
Sting win the face-off. Send it to neutral ice. Apsley takes it, gives it to number 24, David Pyatt. Chance in front of the net there. Goodman holds it in. Sends it to Butterworth. Telford tried to play that out, but Butterworth gets it to Goodman. And now, number 29, that's William Curzon for the Sting. Curzon sends it into the Tigers zone. Telford starting to look quite sluggish in this late end of the second period. As you say, they've killed off an awful lot of penalties over this second half of the period. Butterworth sends it across ice, shot from Colton.
Well, I think if I'm in Telford's position now, we definitely want to be throwing the body around a little bit, trying to pick up the tempo, get the morale raised. Perhaps see if they can enjoy the next power play, if they can get a response out of some of these Sutton players.
We said before the game about the youth of Sutton Sting. So many players brought up through the under-18s. You have to wonder whether that youth gives them an edge at a point like this in the period.
Yeah. Well, Sutton not happy once again about the icing being waved off, or the icing not being waved off. And it's happened once to both teams this period, so call that even for the ref.
Tigers win the face-off. But the Sting take possession. Morris skates that in. Hamilton tried to take the body, slow him down. Goodman playing a little keep away there. Deeks and Lashczyk takes the puck on the board, turns it round, shot. You had Morris coming up on the blocker side of the netminder.
Yeah, Morris and Goodman combining on this left wing here to create a bit of room, and then they reverse the play back around the back of the net to Lashczyk. Lashczyk steps in from the half boards, takes a high shot on Brown. Brown looked like he had a little glance backwards, but safely there in his kit.
Telford win the face-off. Send it to neutral ice.
Little through the legs move by the looks of it there from Anderton.
Pyatt and Hamilton as we enter the last minute of the second period. Lots for both teams to consider during this second period break. As the puck goes out of play. And I suppose for Telford, as you say, it's about finding their feet again after so many time on the penalty kill.
Yeah, hopefully the period break will sort of reset Telford in some way, and they come out focused for the third. But they've definitely been under the cosh, shall we say, for this in this period.
And if you're the Sting, you've got to be happy with the performance, got to be happy with the discipline in the second period.
Yeah, they've gradually taken control, even at even strength. I think we've seen a lot of face-offs in the Telford zone. Brown's had to stop a lot of pucks, more so than Guilfoyle, it has to be said. But Telford do look dangerous with their speed on the break.
Martin tried to get that to Colton. As Telford.
Here comes Telford.
Yates takes the shot. Puck's loose. Nice move by Goodman to just take that puck away. And with a burst of speed down the ice, pursued by Aston, beats out Aston.
He needs a shot, quick. Here we go.
Shot.
Oh, good save, Brown. Wow. Nearly a buzzer beater for Lashczyk there.
What a play there from Sutton to bring that puck down and get a credible shot in front of the net. But that brings us to the end of the second period. We'll see how things progress coming up in the final period of play in this first of the semi-final games. But Gary and Ben, it's back up to you in the studio.
Yeah, thanks for that, Dave. Well, an interesting second period, and we say it time and time again on Drop the Puck. Penalties cost you your best players in a penalty box, and that was certainly the case for Sutton in that first half of that second period.
Yeah, certainly. You know, you look back and I don't know the amount of times we've said the D word on Drop the Puck this season, but you're all right. Discipline costs teams games, and Morris, being a captain there, must be absolutely kicking himself having to sit in that penalty box, not really have a full impact on that game until he was let out the trap, Gary, and then look what happened.
Well, of course, they've started to take a lot more of a command, but for me in that period, without a doubt, one person that stood out for me, and that is a great defenseman in Goodman. He's been absolutely astounding. He's kept that Telford front line quiet, and am I wrong? And I think it was pointed out by Dave in the commentary there, Telford looking a bit tired towards the end.
Well, I was just going to raise that very point myself. You heard it. You know, Sutton have a lot of youth experience here. I'm not saying that Telford don't, but Telford have been on the penalty kill the majority of that period. So if you're on the penalty kill, you've only got 4 guys out there. That's a lot of ice to cover, chasing around 5 guys. At one point, you had 3 Telford players out there trying to cover 5 Sutton guys. And obviously that's when Colton and Laidler capitalised on it. If you've got shorter guys on the ice and put longer shifts in, you're going to wear down your squad quickly. And right now, unfortunately, that's exactly what's happening to Telford. Sutton have got them singing to their tune.
You can't take it away from Telford though, because they have got that speed, Aston, quick down the ice. That's the one thing that they can got against Sutton. But how long can they sustain the pressure? Because Sutton are putting a lot of pressure on that net now.
When you say pressure, I was about to literally come in again. It's like you're reading my mind, Gary. But no, the pressure is massively intense there coming from Sutton at the moment. In fact, quite clearly outshot Telford in that period. I don't think the puck spent any time really in the Sutton third. You know, Guilfoyle's had a quiet period there. He's enjoyed a bit of hockey like the fans have. Paul Zach Brown, he's seen more rubber than Goodyear. It's one of them at the moment. If I was Brown, I'd be absolutely ripping a shred off my defenders in that dressed locker room right now. I'd be going, guys, get the puck clear. I need to breathe. You need to breathe. We need fresh legs on the ice. Another way of doing that is making sure you've got a full line out there.
Yeah, it's certainly the case, but it'd be interesting to see how things pan out in the second period. But before we go and talk about the third period, before we go and talk about that, we'll just have a quick word from our friends at Elite Hockey UK. Some great stuff there. We're going to give away some great prizes in the competition we'll mention at the end of this game. But Ben, this third period, what have Telford got to do to get back into this game?
So right now, Callum Bowley's got to grab hold of the Tigers by the scruff of the neck and literally drag them into this third period, scratching, fighting, clawing, kicking. Telford need to act like a cornered animal with nothing to lose, especially if they want to take anything away from this. I know there's a lot of fans out there that really want to see a Telford Widnes final. There's a lot of fans that love to see a Telford Jets final. You know, whichever way your preference is. I think one of the big things is they need to buckle up their ideas and just play good, consistent hockey. Keep fresh legs on the ice all the time. They need to not give Laschek as much open ice as they are. They're giving him far too much respect and he's getting shots off left, right and centre. And they need to take Goodman out of the game because, as you said, he is pretty much brick walling them right now, giving Guilfoyle an easy day.
Well, I said it in the end of the first period there. Carol Jets was a bit quiet for me in that first period, and then he shone in the second, got that all-important goal. But again, Sutton Sting have got the key player in Laschek. He's been awesome for them. I still think we've got to see a lot more from both of these players in this third period.
Yeah, you know, I made a prediction in the last period that we'd see something go off in this one. Both teams proving me wrong, fair enough, and the game seems to have quieted down with the pushing and shoving the handbags, shall we say. But I think if anything's going to happen now, it's got to be this period. Not because it's the last period in the game, but Telford needed to. They need something to spark, to energise that team again. They need put more pucks on the net. They need to be looking for those dirty rebound goals. You know, the greasy goals, but they count, and that's a big thing right now.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, can the Telford Tigers step it up a little more and try and get back into this game, or will they leave themselves open for Sutton to extend their lead even further? With that, I think we'll hand over to the commentary team of Dave Griffiths and George Perrett.
Gary and Ben, thanks. We are back for third period action, and it all comes down to this. One of these teams is about to go home.
Indeed, yeah, and it's close too. Only a goal in it, so can Sutton protect their lead, or will Telford come from behind to make the final?
Hyatt sets out Sutton's intentions early in this period by just firing that on Brown in net. We're going to be looking to hopefully see the return of some of that intensity from Telford that was missing in the later part of the second period. And we'll see how the Sting respond to that, if indeed they need to. Yates. Morris has the puck. He's going to skate that in. Tried to get that onto the stick of Laschek. Laschek to Morris, and it's a goal!
Well, it was a turnover there in the corner. I'm not sure. I think it might have been Hastwick who backhanded it back to reverse the play to his defenseman, but Laschek was there behind the net, picks it up, cycles around the net, and Morris on his stick, off his stick. 4-2 Sutton, crushing blow for Telford.
Second goal of the night there for Morris.
Particularly tough to concede so early in the period before you've found your rhythm, your momentum.
And this is Sutton showing just why they came away with the league championship. A 59-point season they've had, and they've been looking great in this game as they shoot that into the chest of Zach Brown.
Yeah, another save for Brown's totals, but it'll all mean nothing, of course, unless his team can get the win here.
Attempt there to put that to Martin at centre to take the shot. It was just stretched a little wide and sent back down to the Sutton end. Martin pokes that down into Telford's end. Liam Priest. And Griffin was held up, forced back with it. Butterworth took that away. And Matthew Price on the other end with some pressure from Martin. Martin tried to play that on net. Was stopped by Priest. Priest gets it to Griffin, who takes a shot. And now Sutton Sting. Dump and chase. Martin round the other side picks that puck up. Pyatt for Sutton Sting, tames it in front of his bench. And the puck chipped out. Colton decides better of that and turns back to be part of a line change.
Telford dumping the puck in, but they're not getting the defenseman up to the line, which makes it very difficult to maintain possession. And again, Sutton come back looking dangerous.
Apsley and Mitchell playing the puck behind the net. Telford caught look in there for it. Morris is going to dump that on net. Brown stops that with his blocker. Chipped down into the Sutton end, and Guilfoyle comes out the net to play that.
Once again, Telford, they're just not getting their defence up to the line. Makes it so hard to keep the puck in. The defence look a little bit hesitant. They look a little bit wary of the threat from Sutton, but it's do or die now. They've got to be scoring goals. So they've got to get their defensemen up into the play.
And considering the points scored by Telford's defence during the season, it is somewhat surprising that they seem reluctant to make that play.
Breakaway, Laschek. Tried to go glove side. It was just shouldered above the, shouldered wide there by Brown. Yeah, it's too late in the game now to be showing respect to Sutton's forwards. You know, Telford have got to be aggressive now.
Aston. He's going to skate that in himself. Had some success tonight. Looking for Bowley, couldn't get him.
Once again, when the play breaks down, there's no one there to challenge from Telford on defence.
Bowley brings it in, gives it to Aston, but Aston couldn't reach it. And that tape-to-tape passing in Sutton's end has not been a strong point at Telford. Not in this period. We have a face-off, won by Telford. They're going to take the shot. They've got just over 15 minutes to even, at least try and even this up and send it into overtime. But Sutton are back on the attack. Doxey has that behind the net, sends it off the boards to Williamson, who's going to take a shot. Matt Jeffcock looking for the deflection in front.
Yeah, it's been an interesting line, this line here, with Doxey, Williamson and Jeffcock for Sutton. They've done well, they've created opportunities. Two young lads and Jeffcock with the experience on that line.
Face off taken by Martin. Tried to get that to Colton. It's knocked out and down the ice. And we've got an icing call. It's going to bring it back into the Telford zone.
Well, Sutton will be happy to see the next 15 minutes out like this.
And I think Telford have got to be wary at this point of heads dropping. This is not insurmountable at this point, but they need to stay in this game. As Sutton chip away at that. And Telford start to get a little physical with the offense there.
Yeah, Hamilton gave a shove to Colton, and you can see immediately raises his hands to the ref. He knows that a penalty now would be a really devastating blow to Telford's chances. You'd expect Sutton now to be extremely disciplined, playing as they are with a 2-goal lead. Probably be happy to just control the play, make sure that they don't give Telford any opportunity to come back into this.
Colton tried to get that to Martin. Martin goes hard into the board.
Yeah, he's getting up slowly.
And Martin has done an awful lot of work for Sutton Sting in this game, and he's taking his time getting to the bench there.
Well, yeah.
And if this is the score at the end of this game and Sutton Sting are through to the playoff finals, you're going to need somebody like Dominic Martin working on the ice.
It's Anderton again in the box for Telford here, I'm afraid. It's 5-on-4, 2 minutes for Sutton. It's Anderton's second penalty. He shakes his head.
So 2 minutes of 5-on-4 in favour of Sutton. And we are 14 minutes away from the end of this game. They settle the puck down behind the net. Given to Pyatt. Couldn't get a shot. Sent it high. And Aston trying to get that to Yates. Just overstretched.
He was unlucky there. I think it just jumped over his stick blade at the last minute. The pass was on the ice when it left Aston's stick. It skipped over a dink in the ice.
Colton sends it around the boards to Pyatt. The last check. Pyatt to Morris, takes the shot, and another shot from the rebound for
great
Colton.
Double save.
Puck loose. Shot from the point.
Another save, Brown. I have to say, he's performed well. Sutton clearly have outshot Telford, and Brown has been has been magnificent in net for the Tigers.
So, Sutton Sting still have 35 seconds of power play as Doxey gives it to Butterworth behind the net. Or I should say, Goodman. To last check at the point. Martin's open. Last check keeps the puck just on the line.
Good puck protection there from last check. Really looking in control here, Sutton. Bowley with a stick in the lane.
Doxey takes a shot. Martin jumps on that. Martin back on the ice after that.
Yeah, Brown again with the save. Good opportunities on that power play there for Sutton. Certainly good opportunity. Johnson trying to go cross crease to Martin, but it was cut out.
And we're back to full strength for the Telford Tigers. 12.5 minutes remain in this game. Face off once again in the Telford zone. Won by the Tigers. Taken by Curzon on the boards. Butterworth tries for the wraparound. And we've got a penalty, a hooking call assessed to Telford.
Well, it's Washburn, I think. It's so hard when you're playing without the puck, you're playing in your own zone, you're chasing the play a little bit. Obviously, at this stage in the game, you're doing everything you can to compete, you're doing everything you can to make it difficult for your opponents. It's so hard to not get these interference calls, hooking calls. But yeah, Telford now I think have had 5 consecutive minor penalties, and that really has allowed Sutton to dominate the latter stages of this game.
Frustration starting to set in, I imagine, on the Telford line. Last check. And Morris brings it round the back of the net, gives it to last check.
Oh, lovely play, last check. Backhanded across to Pyatt, yes.
Pyatt stationed right in front of the crease there, had a great opportunity. Goodman looked like he was going to go for the shot there, but made the pass instead. And Colton is looking for his man. Gives the puck up to Telford though, and Telford clear. There's a minute remaining in the power play.
More contact this time. Aston on Guilfoyle, and Aston's been called for goaltender interference here.
Another big penalty assessed to Telford as Morris takes the shot, swiped away by the netminder's blocker. And Telford touched that puck for the delayed call.
Well, Bowley's protesting the call. There was contact between Aston and Guilfoyle. It's not certain who initiated it, but it's a real lapse in discipline here for Telford. And as one of their best players, skates to the bench, shows his frustration.
An interference call against Aston with 11 minutes left in the game. It's going to make it 5-on-3 for the next 40 seconds, and this is extremely costly at this point. Bowley frustrated as player coach. Their captain also showing some frustration with the referee, Carol Yates.
Yeah, of course, Sutton's go-ahead goal from Colton in the second period came at a 5-on-3, and they find themselves in the situation again. Now this time, 40 seconds.
Sutton Sting settle in. Take a shot. Brown holds on to that.
Another good save from Brown, no rebound.
Stays solid in net despite the frustration of, no doubt, himself and his team. Laschek's going to take the face off there for the Sting. Williamson.
Oh, in the glove, Brown, what a save. Sprawled out.
Outstanding how Laschek didn't get that past him.
Laschek was reaching and he couldn't quite lift it over the glove of Brown. Brown was completely sprawled out, opens his glove, lifts his glove just a fraction off the ice and snatches what would have been the 5th goal for Sutton.
Great awareness there from Brown. As Goodman sends it into the corner. Around the back of the net, Morris has it. 5-on-3 has expired. Brown covers up again and Washburn is back on the ice.
Well,
and we've got another
call here. One of the Sutton players this time, surely. Yeah, it looks like Morris. That's a slash.
Morris not happy with that one, but...
Well, he needs to be careful here. Yeah, that's his 2nd misconduct of the game. And I wouldn't expect him to play much of a further part in this. Of course, he'll be frustrated because he's wiped out the advantage. Yeah, 2nd misconduct. He's off to get a shower.
Morris is gone.
Just needs to keep himself in check. Have one eye on tomorrow's final, if that's the way that things finish in the next 10 minutes here.
Referee's going to have a word with the bench there, or the linesman. And these games, such high pressure, so many stakes. Both teams really need to keep level heads at this point. Telford have been frustrated. Morris for Sutton has snapped at the referee and now been ejected.
Oh, well. Anderton received the hit from Goodman there. It was 11-on-11, but Anderton rode the hit well, and it was Goodman that went to the ice.
Nice.
Anderton's going to get his 3rd penalty here.
Martin just keeping up that pressure, and it's proven costly for Telford Tigers.
Well, it's a genuine lack of discipline here because Martin was in a vulnerable position. He had his stick tied up. Anderton was looking there to make a devastating hit.
And you can see
on a player who was turning in a slightly vulnerable position. He's now in the box for the 3rd time, and it's looking increasingly unlikely that Telford will be able to come back into this game as it is playing with only 3 players on the ice.
Just seeing Aston there getting his hand iced. Looks like he's in some pain, and that'll happen when you punch the plexi. So, face-off in the Telford end, straight into the netminder who covers up. Another 5-on-3 for another 48 seconds. Aston sat out, Anderton sat out for Telford. We've got Apsley in the box for Sutton, covering for Morris, who's been ejected from the game.
Yeah, it's been a fractured period, this, with the penalties from both sides. But
of course, discipline has been quite the issue for Telford, just as Gary and Ben were saying during the break.
Here we go again. This is Pyatt this time. He's off to the bench. just to be clear, that's Payet, not Payet.
I think he would have spent a bit more time in the box than it been Payet. So another penalty. That's going to make this a 3-on-3.
Yeah, it looks like neither team that interested in playing this game with 5 men on the ice. Sutton will be happy with this, though. I mean, they won't be happy with taking a penalty, but they won't mind it descending into a sort of chippy, fractured period.
20 seconds of 3-on-3. Ice really opened up for this. Butterworth slams on the brakes. Couldn't get anything with that. He had Yates right on his tail. And discipline has really hurt this third period, as Aston is back on the ice. So it's a 4-on-3 in favour of Telford now. They've got 30 seconds to make this count. Wow. Shot came in offside by the looks of things.
Well, we're going to see 23 seconds now of a rare Telford power play.
And with 8 minutes, 42 seconds left in this game, that window for Telford to even things up is getting shorter and shorter. Telford need to make this count. Skated in. Washburn was held up. 5 seconds.
Yeah, good job here by Sutton penalty killers. Just
absolutely back on the ice
up against the boards.
That's that 2-minute minor that was assessed to Morris.
Yeah, Aspley they put in the box for Morris because he's got speed and he'd be dangerous coming out of the box. And he showed it there as he got on the puck, held it up. Now it's
absolutely chips at it in front of the netminder, but again, Brown just keeps that out. Exactly 8 minutes left in this game. And we've got 4-on-4 hockey for another 9 seconds, and then it's advantage Sutton. So many penalties assessed. It's been a back and forward, short-handed advantage.
Well, Telford have got Aston and Bowley out now, and they desperately need to get that goal.
Anderton back on the ice. Telford are back to full strength for the next 15 seconds. They've got a 5-on-4. Held into their own zone, though, as the penalty expires for Sutton Sting. Pyatt hit the ice just as the puck went out of play. Well, now 5-on-5.
I can't believe what we're seeing here. Do we have 10 skaters on the ice?
It is a shock. Telford take a timeout now. And they really need to come up with a game plan.
Yeah, they're going to be strategizing here any way they can to get a decent chance on Guilfoyle. Guilfoyle not been tested much this period at all. He's not had a great deal to do. Obviously, the penalties have played a role in that, but Telford really now will be desperately searching to create some offense. They've just not managed to get it going this period at all.
And if you're Warren Guilfoyle at this point, you've not had much pressure this period. Does that become a factor late in this game if you start taking pressure? Are you have you not warmed up as much by that point?
Well, I mean, so much of the goaltending position is a sort of a psychological battle, a mental battle. You know, I'm sure Guilfoyle's experienced. No doubt he's played in plenty of games like this for a league-winning team where you've got spells of inactivity, but you've got to remain focused and sharp for the big saves. You know, I haven't watched a lot of this guy this year, but I'd say his stats speak for themselves. You know, he'll be focused when Telford come looking for their goal.
So with 7 minutes 20 seconds left in the third, Telford begin their assault. Puck sent down the ice into the Telford zone. It's Priest and Mitchell. Hamilton under pressure from Laschek, and he gives it up. Johnson to Laschek. Took the shot. Brown kept that out.
Yeah, great chance there. Johnson just stepped inside his man on this right wing here.
Yates brings it in, just loses it. Back the other way is Johnson.
Well, Johnson had last check again there, but this time he opted to shoot.
Brown thought about covering up, decided to keep the clock running. 6.5 minutes left in this game. Griffin gives it to Yates, takes it down the middle, takes a shot, tries to get his own rebound, and Guilfoyle covers up.
Yeah, all night Sutton have been really good at stopping Telford from getting up the middle there. As I said, it's a narrow rink, it's hard to drive wide. You can really choke a team's offense if you get your defensemen, you know, engaging them at the blue line or engaging them soon after the blue line, standing them up, forcing them to take shots from ineffective areas.
Huswick dumps that over the net. Tries again. Held at the line. And Telford forced back. Valuable seconds ticking away now. And this is the longest sustained 5-on-5 we've had all period.
Oh, big hit there.
And I speak too soon. Another penalty, an elbowing call.
Yeah, that's Goodman, and he'll be frustrated with that because that looked very much to me like a good, clean hit. Got to be careful here to be disciplined. He's clearly frustrated, but he can't bang his stick or he'll end up chatting with Morris back in the changing rooms.
And of course, if you're Telford Tigers now, as Ben and Gary have been saying, it is time to buckle down, show some discipline.
It's a great opportunity now.
Oh, yes! And it's a goal! Number
Griffin.
27, Callum Griffin, finally gets on the board.
Well, this is set up for an exciting finish here. Telford won the face-off. They got the puck down behind the Sutton goal line. Guilfoyle, as we've discussed, has done very little all period, and that was the worst possible chance for him to have to stop because Griffin had time, he had space, and he one times it high over Guilfoyle's shoulder. 4-3 Sting. Telford easily back in this game now.
Telford make that power play pay. And providing they stay out the box themselves, chances are looking much better. Hamilton stopped at the line. Sutton Sting turned it around. 5 minutes remain in this game. A photo finish. As Glaspie skates that in for Sutton, drops it back to Martin. Martin looking for Colton. To Martin with a one-timer. And that's going to be given from Hamilton to Brown to cover that up. Slow the pace down. 4.5 minutes remain.
Well, you've got to say, Telford have been under pressure for the majority of this game, but you've got to admire the way that they've hung in. They've been opportunistic. They've taken their chances when they've counted, and they are within a goal of levelling up here against the Sting.
Silence there by the Tigers as they clear it. Icing call waved off. Johnson gives it to Laschek. Johnson couldn't get level there to take the shot. Along the boards, Johnson holds it in, sends it to the corner to Laschek. Laschek brings down one of the Telford players along the boards there, and we're going to have a stoppage in play. That was Brandon Anderton who was brought down.
Yeah. He's working hard, Anderton. You know, he's had the 3 penalty calls against him, but, I mean, you know, hard-working, energetic players who do sometimes draw penalties. He's been a little bit unlucky with a couple of them. And obviously, he's showing a bit of fire here, wanting to get his team back in the game.
3.5 minutes left. Griffin tried to give that to Bowley. Hoostwick, cross-ice pass to Hamilton. Tied up in the skates of that Sting player, that is number 77, Dominic Martin.
Yeah, he just looked up at the last second there as the defenseman was eyeing him up for a big hit at the blue line.
Into the final 3 minutes. Bowley caught looking. Hoostwick. And let's not forget, George, last time these two played each other back in March, it was an overtime winner.
Yeah, well, we could be looking at a similar situation here. Of course, the teams will play indefinite overtime in the event of a tie. The first scorer takes the path to the final. Well,
slashing call coming up for the Sutton Sting, and that's going to be assessed to Stanislav Laschek. So again, another great power play opportunity for Telford.
Yeah, another twist in the tail here, because it took Telford a matter of seconds to score on the last power play. They've all convened at the bench immediately just to quickly get their ideas together. It's worrying times here for Sutton. They had established a 2-goal lead. A bit of lack of focus, lack of discipline cost them that. And now they've got to hold on to their 1-goal lead.
Into the final 2 minutes. Telford are pretty much going to play out this game on the power play. And again, we keep saying it, but discipline is so important at this point of the game. However frustrated, however intense these next 2 minutes get, Telford needs to keep that man advantage.
Yeah, look for Sutton here to go into total shutdown mode. I doubt they'll be chasing a puck down Telford's end. They'll just be content to ice it. Make sure they've got 4 bodies behind the puck at all times if they can.
Yates, cross-ice pass.
There you go,
dumped
good.
In. Yates gets it. They're offside though. Has to wait, and that hesitation costs him the puck. Colton skates it in, takes a shot.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that. The face-off comes down to the Telford end. That's where they want it. Telford can't score in their own zone, and it was a good penalty-killing play there. The aggressive intercept on the blue line as Telford tried to carry the puck into the Sutton zone. That broke the play down.
1 minute 33 left. 1 minute 14 in the power play. Telford take the puck from the face-off, managed to clear. Aston held up by Goodman though, couldn't get that speed. And with Saunders heading towards him, gives the puck to Bowley. Bowley skates it in. Crowd firmly behind Telford Tigers. Big contingent they've brought with them tonight. Yates.
Oh.
Fans on the shot, does Bowley.
Great poke check from Goodman.
Last minute of play.
Now, are we going to see Brown going over to the Telford bench for the extra attacker? I'd have had him over there now if it was me, but...
Last minute of play.
He's not even looking. It doesn't look like they're going to try and get an extra attacker on here.
Martin couldn't clear.
Hustwick.
Huge shot there from Hustwick.
Hooked over the net by Guilfoyle. What a chance to level.
Sends it to the point. Another shot. Scramble. Off the boards and back out. Sutton are back to full strength. Last check is back. And now the Brown is going to be pulled.
Brown's going over now. So we've got a 6-on-5 here. That was Anderton. Guilfoyle's got it.
Guilfoyle covers that up with 6.9 seconds left on the clock. Well, the most important face-off of the game coming up.
Yeah, it's been a thrilling finish. Brown hasn't returned to the net, so it looks very much like Telford are going to take this face-off with 6 skaters on the ice. We're just picking the 6th now to come out. It's Aston. I beg your pardon, it's Thomason, one of the goal scorers. They'll be desperately looking to get the puck back to Bowley or Hamilton or Thomason so that they can get a shot.
Face-off won by the Sting. And this could be it now.
Well,
send it down the ice. Colton gets it.
That'll do it.
And that's the end of the game. Don't think that goal beat the buzzer. So the Sutton Sting are through to the playoff finals. They'll be meeting either Hull or Widnes, who are playing next. What a fantastic game this was, George.
Yeah, commiserations to Telford. They've been an exciting team in the league this year. You know, they've played a lot of exciting games, high-scoring team. They worked really hard here today and gave a great account of themselves. But ultimately, you have to give credit to Sutton. They did look in control. You know, Guilfoyle didn't have a great deal to do. And you know, you've got to say they're looking to be favourites tomorrow, really, whoever they play, Hull or Widnes.
The league champions have taken one step closer to winning the playoffs. Commiserations to Telford Tigers. They put up quite the fight. And thank you to their travelling contingent who've made it really noisy here at Widnes tonight. And congratulations to the Sutton Sting. Ben, Gary, we send it back to you.
And with Scott Morris of the Sutton Sting. Scott, you must be happy with that performance.
Oh, definitely, yeah. We knew coming in it was going to be like a difficult game against Telford. As every single game this year, it's been close, it's gone to a wire. So I was a bit nervous coming in. I think the whole team was. But we got it done in the end. It was close again, but we got it done, so we're really happy, yeah.
Are you happy you didn't go to overtime?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I mean, we've had, like I say, overtime's not our speciality. I think we've gone to overtime 3 times with Telford and lost it every single time. But yeah, glad it didn't go overtime. I was nervous at the end though. I thought they were going to pinch it. So, you know, yeah, it's one of the things. Happy.
Now, something we mentioned on Drop the Puck a lot of times is obviously discipline on the ice. Yourself being ejected from the game tonight, what impact did you think that had on the team?
I don't think it had much of an impact. You know, there's no one player that stands out on our team. We're a young team that have grafted all year, and I think that showed tonight. So, you know, I was very naive, I was very stupid. I think I was a bit worked up because, you know, at the stakes of the game, but our guys just rose to that level and they were brilliant, especially our fourth line. Our fourth line, you know, they've not had as much ice time as we'd have liked to have gotten throughout the game, but when they did get on, they stepped up brilliantly and gave everyone else a rest. So I think it took a lot of maturity from our team, which was brilliant, yeah.
Now, one eye must surely turn to the game following this one very quickly, which is obviously the Wild against the Jets. Is there a preferred side that you're going to want to come out of this to face in the final?
I think we played Hull recently, so we know what to expect with them. All our games with the Wild was at the beginning of the year, and I think both teams have evolved throughout the year. So to be completely honest with you, we're not worried about which team we face. We've just got to go out there and do our job against whoever. You know, we've beat Hull quite recently, so we'd be confident. And Widnes were a different team, although they've beat us, you know, more than we've beaten them this year. I think we're confident going in, and whoever we get, we'll just do our job and not focus on somebody else.
Now, obviously, winning the Laidler this year is going to be a nice little feather in the cap of Sutton there. Will you be stepping up to the morally, and are you going to be looking forward to that season?
I mean, I'm not the one to ask that. You know, it comes down to the board, the committee, who decide whether we're going up or not. If it was down to me, absolutely. The reason we stepped down this year is to develop our players. I think in winning the league, we've proved that we've got the players to step up, and we're not naive. We know it's going to be a real challenge. You know, you've got your top teams from the EPL in that league that we've got no fantasies of getting above. But if we can go up and hold our own, then we can prove that, you know, the development we've had this year has been worth it, and it's worked. So, you know, if it was up to me, I'd say, yeah, we'll step up and we'll get a good crack. But at the end of the day, there's a long off-season that we have to sort of think about and see who we're going to get next year. That's the thing. So we don't want to just step up and be the whipping boys of the league. So we need to look at who we can bring in. So, yeah.
Well, Scott, we'll give you a much-deserved rest after that game. Yeah. Get ready for tomorrow, and we'll wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks.
With Callum Bowley of the Telford Tigers. Callum, obviously not the result you wanted, mate.
No, it's a bit, well, obviously it's disappointing, semi-final of the playoffs. I thought, well, what is it to say? We were committed. I think at the end of the day it came down to one, goaltending, B, we took too many penalties. But at the end of the day, I can't fault my guys' commitment, their work ethic. We stuck to the process, we stuck to the plan. But at the end of the day, they came out winners. So.
Well, you mentioned it there, obviously the penalties. We noticed in that second period, you spent a lot of time on the penalty kill there. It must have run down those legs.
Well, especially when you're killing 5-on-3s for the best part of 4 minutes in a game, and then you're going again and again and again. It does take its toll on all the boys' legs in the room. And then, but towards the end, the last 4 minutes, we found our legs again. We got a PP, we managed to score. And then you have to gamble, you have to pull the goalie. You never know what can happen. You have to go for it. But unfortunately, we couldn't find that last goal, which made things difficult. But like I said, I told my guys to hold their heads up high. We put in a performance. It just didn't go our way.
Now, what had you done? Obviously, every team had done their homework, but was there a certain thing you were expecting Sutton to come out and do?
Yes. For me, Sutton like to play a long game. Everything's stretch. Everything's get the pucks behind our D. Our D have to move their feet pretty quickly and break out as quickly as possible, so they make it difficult. In terms of work ethic and foot speed, they move their feet really well. I genuinely believe that it was going to be a one-goal game, and again, it was, or was it?
Yeah,
yeah. So it's been a great battle between us and Sutton. I've enjoyed it. I know my lads have enjoyed it. It's what hockey's about. If two teams going hard, I'm disappointed. I'm a bit lost for words, but it is what it is.
So it's been an outstanding season for Telford too, battling right up there at the top of the Laidler the whole season. What is in the future now for Telford?
I think a lot of people forget that we're a development team. We're a very young team. We are developing. I think post-Christmas, if you look at our results, we went on best part of a 12-game win streak. That catapulted our season. Next year or next season, I expect my guys to be challenging for that league title. And if not, we go and win the playoffs. There's no reason as to why we can't do it. It's baby steps. This is our first time here as a team, as a unit. We'll build off that experience and come back stronger next season.
Well, Callum, best of luck for whatever the future may hold for you, and thanks very much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Well, there you go. Some great interviews there. Thanks for grabbing those, Ben. You can tell by the face of Callum Barley that Telford absolutely gutted not getting another piece of silverware.
Yeah, you know, they, in their eyes, they came out all guns firing, but their biggest downfall and triple was that penalty box. Too many guys seated in there for too long. The tank ran dry trying to hold off on that penalty kill. I think you even said it during the commentary there, Dave. They looked sluggish late in the second, and they still had an entire period of hockey to play. So when you're showing signs of sluggishness that early in the game still, it was always going to be an uphill battle for them.
Well, we always say it, Dave, on Drop the Puck, discipline, penalties, kill teams, your best player sitting in the box. and it proved deadly today for Telford.
Without a doubt. And I think the thing is, we talked about how good Telford's defence is, their goal scoring, the amount of points they put on board. They weren't given the opportunity to do that because they were in a position where they were constantly on the back foot, they never had the chance to break out of the box, and they were permanently stuck. And as you say, it was a case of the under-18 youth system of Sutton getting their teeth in and staying fresh, whilst Telford gradually were worn down.
Of course, you can't take it away from Sutton. Their dominance throughout the game was quite evident. You could see that they were comfortable, especially in that early part of the third period, but then they seemed to take their foot off the gas a little bit, and quickly Telford grabbed that opportunity and took the advantage and got themselves a goal back.
Oh yeah, and I think that was the thing. Once you got into that second period and we saw the amount of penalties that Telford were taking, it threw them off the game, because by the time that they killed off the penalties, they didn't have the time to readjust those lines and make sure that they could come out firing like they had done middle of that first period. If they'd have stayed disciplined, maybe we would have been looking at a different game.
I think George picked up on a key point now, to be fair, Gary, quite early on in the second period there, and late into the third as well. And that was Sutton weren't that massively playing a heavy forecheck, but what they were doing is brick walling that blue line. So any time Telford got anywhere near that Sutton third, they were forcing them to take long hop shots, giving Guilfoyle all day to see the puck. She had all the time in the world to pick that out of the air.
And we talked about that narrow ice. It's hard to set up a play, do anything meaningful where you can't escape the puck in. When you saw the first few attempts to escape the puck in successful, because when you didn't find that avenue in the narrower reach, you were able to beat the goaltender. What wasn't winning any shots was taking the shots from the blue line. That dump and chase was not as effective as trying to escape past that game.
Of course, Telford's experience did show when they managed to get that foothold late in that third period, where they clawed back to 4-3, almost 4-all, bringing in an overtime game. You've got to feel sorry for Telford. They were that close, but do you think they should have pulled their netminder a bit sooner?
Well, that was something we definitely picked up on commentary. You had a 5-on-4, you could have had a 6-on-4, they could have maybe even that up, but what I can understand that they were waiting until that penalty expired so that they could still have that man advantage without having given up the goal potentially. Let's face it, Zach Brown was playing a blinder in net anyway. He stopped as much as he possibly could. He was in a position where he gave them a little bit more confidence in those last minute and a half, so that they felt confident that they could pull the people in Riders.
Well, let's look forward. Sutton have made their first step into that final tomorrow. Who they play, we don't know yet, but you've got to fancy Sutton now.
Yeah, you know, Sutton Laidler, and the 1 foot in the door of taking the playoffs as well. That upcoming match, you know, it's going to be the whole Jets thing to win this Wild. First and foremost, Gary, where are we? We're here in Planet Ice Widnes, which means we're in the home barn of the Wild, and you're going to know about it. Those guys know the ice like the back of their hand, and they skate intensity from the word go.
Well, I hear what you're saying, Ben, but I've got to admit, there's a lot of fans here from all of the teams that got some great support. Telford certainly did, and that extra man off the ice, if you like, to give the team the support, I think is vital, especially in a small arena like this.
Yeah, you know, as I said at the beginning of the show, intimidation when you come to this rink is a major thing, and you will hear Widnes fans get loud and proud. One of the biggest things you can't take away from this, though, is it's playoff hockey. You can't write scripts because it writes itself. Most people have had Telford down to win that one, and it went completely off script, and Sutton took it. Most people will probably fancy Widnes on this get Widnes on this next one, especially having a head-to-head over the Hull with the 3-1 already. But I don't know, you know, Hull being a smaller squad, skating, you know, with more heart, more passion. It depends though what you put down on the ice, you know, to get the results. If Hull want it more, they can take it.
Well, of course, that's the next game, but got to feel sorry for Telford. been fighting all season, they've been up there, like you said earlier in the interviews, they're about at the top, find themselves in 4th place, and now they're out of the playoffs for the 2018 Laidler playoff. Good luck to Sutton in the next game, and good luck to the rest of the teams in these playoffs. But we've had a great day here in this first game. Thanks for joining us on Drop the Puck. You can catch all the action on BASN Radio on our YouTube channel. Of course, don't forget to visit us on Twitter and on Facebook. I've been Gary Lee. And we've been Drop the Puck. Competition time on Drop the Puck, and one lucky winner picked at random will win some great prizes courtesy of our friends over at Elite Hockey UK. A t-shirt, a training top, and we'll even throw in a wristband. All you have to do to win these great prizes is go onto YouTube, look for BASN Radio, click on the subscribe button. It's as simple as that. Winner will be announced on the 1st of August, so good luck.